Good morning, everyone. Kansas Sports HQ here, episode 88. It is our Friday roundtable, recap the week, maybe talk a little bit about the NFL Combine as the Ohio State boys are killing it. But that's just my team. Anyways, good morning to all of you. How are you guys doing today?
Trying to get the Instagram to go live, as you stated.
Takes a minute.
And it won't go.
It's not going.
No preview.
Well, we're learning here.
There it goes.
Yep. Now we're live on Instagram.
Okay, do your intro again so I can hear it on Instagram.
Hello and welcome to Kansas Sports HQ.
Episode 88. Welcome to our Friday roundtable.
Apologize.
It repeats itself
for nothing.
For the technology delay. Sheldon is running the stuff today as I have to go to Neighbors United here in a little bit in the city of Goddard.
To his peasants.
Yeah, where he's
that
presiding over.
Yes. The
No.
Neighbors United for Dave.
It's actually a program where
It was the populist to vote.
It helps young people in high school grow into leadership roles, and it's a volunteer effort for the community cleanup and things like that. Today will be our second official meeting. And
Dave is the non-elected, but behind the scenes contributor to all of the strings.
See, he broke through the establishment
Yes.
and is there as
What we call
to
in
drain
our
the swamp. of
what
the
we call
neighbors.
what we call in our politics is APAC. He is the DAPAC.
Well, that wouldn't be draining the swamp. That would be
Well,
filling the swamp.
it's his
more.
swamp.
I don't understand. So, no, I'm not trying to fill any swamps.
The DAPAC is here.
I don't know what that means. You just put a D in front of it
Yeah, I just
for
made that
Dave?
right now. Yeah.
I gotcha.
They'll listen to you. You are their servant, or they are your servant. Sorry. Dang it. Gosh, dang it. Screwed up my
No.
line. But now good. Had a little arm day this morning. Little overhead press. Had a couple little guys. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Don't.
You know?
Banks and are you
He's like,
referring
"You know
to Banks
what?"
and Sean?
He just stands up and kicks me across the room.
Oh, he's out, exiting the podcast.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Sean. I take it back.
Hey, that was an open door policy.
He's like, I'm out of here.
Oh, shoot. That's
No, he
funny.
had us doing some crazy stuff today, like the 5x2 and then 5x1, like heavy weight. It sucked, but it was good. Feel good. My shoulders needed it. I was sanding. I still got the one thing about sanding is like it just never gets out of your eyes, even with my full face shield on. I sent him a picture of that thing yesterday. That thing's awesome though. But so yeah, my shoulders hurt. They're tired. My back's pretty tight, but we're living. Blessed to open my eyes.
Yeah, this guy comes, does my workouts, then makes fun of how small I am.
That's not true.
Does like 75% of my workouts. And then
And only on the arm days is just when I get to, peep up and say anything.
not really, just on shoulders.
Why? Because his shoulders are strong.
Yeah. Everything else.
It's because his
Because you
arms are
can't-
short.
you can't
shoulders and chest.
claim.
He's
Yeah,
got
and
short.
chest.
He short arms
You
everything.
can't
'cause-
claim buys and tries because I got you beat there.
I don't know, man.
Oh, is it really a competition on that side of it? Or you
Yes.
just don't want to be called small.
It's a weight room.
A little
Everything's a
guy.
competition.
Yes, and yes, obviously. What kind of question is that? Of course.
Oh, just to get you fired up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
I
show.
told-
Welcome back to the show.
I told Banks, he was down there, and I was like, Banks, come back here with a little bit more testosterone, because he was like whining or something. He walked upstairs, came back down. When he came back down, he didn't have his shirt on.
No shirt on. So kind of.
And then he was
Kinda.
like, hey, he was listening to you. And I was like, no, he wasn't. He didn't even know what he's doing. I don't know what his thing was. He was running all over. But yeah, good morning, good workout. Get that done. Beautiful this weekend. Holy moly. 76 today, 75, 76 tomorrow, something like that. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully people are outside and enjoying the sun. And then it's going to snow on Sunday. So, welcome to Kansas.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad
Yes.
weather for like 3 days. I already had a bunch of high schools text me about coming in and practicing next week. So, sorry. We're full.
Too bad. So sad.
It's going to be crazy.
You never know. You might be able to fit some people in. I think you have some. Well, I guess everything ends in March for all the things that are active in here.
Hey,
But you never know.
anything over 50 degrees in February, I am not complaining. I think
Yeah.
I skated by probably maybe a week in total of not having to run the heat in February, like day here, day there, day here, day there kind of a thing, which is nice.
That'd be a new record.
Probably. So I will take it warming up quicker. That beaver doesn't know shit.
Talking about the
Whatever that thing is.
Fuck.
Buxwanamy groundhog.
Yeah.
The
It's not a beaver.
well, groundhogs are groundhogs.
Oh, it's a groundhog. Sorry.
that beaver don't know shit.
Whatever.
I can't wait for him to clip that one.
Groundhogs are their own animal.
I know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what it
Causation,
was.
Wow.
But you're right. It doesn't. It doesn't know.
How was your morning, Sean?
Doesn't. It's
It's here.
better than I deserve.
You actually look better today. Did you sleep good last night?
Yeah, you're not as tired today.
Yeah. Actually, it was good.
Not taking pre-workout at 10 p.m. and
Thrown off the next 2 days.
Yeah.
What if I told you I did?
You did.
You
No,
didn't.
I went home and I think I fell asleep by 11.
We can tell pretty quickly whether or not you're tired in the morning.
Woke up at 3. You guys don't know me.
Yeah. Because usually I look on
Yeah.
camera and you're doing this.
That's what I was doing yesterday.
A little
I
nap.
know.
Yeah. That's some good questions. But
They just couldn't get to here to there.
no, I think it was a combination of, you guys, just not letting the little boy shine.
Oh,
and then,
my.
and then he really, the biggest thing was he just had a lot of long answers.
He did. It's like natural for him.
Yeah.
To just be
Yeah.
able to-
And
he's like, here.
and that's
I know
honestly,
you're gonna have a couple of follow-up questions.
And
I'm
he's
just
like, I'm
gonna go
gonna-
ahead and
yeah.
answer them in this one time. So
the thing I wanted to ask was because he's at this point now. I wanted to ask, give us you talked about being at KU in college, and then how did you go from there
He's so sick to call this game.
there to your current role at ESPN? Where, because then he did mention he was calling high school games so I just wanted to hear that a little bit of that journey, the in between stuff, because like he said, that is my brother's on that grind right now. It's like that is a industry where it's a ton of work, and the opportunities are honestly pretty slim, and you have to put in a lot of time and preparation, and then be on your A game essentially all the time especially to get noticed and move up the ranks, so to speak.
Yeah.
Super tough.
But that's what I wanted to ask, and then I had another question in there too, but it was
We just kept talking over you. My bad.
yeah, pretty much. But also, yeah, I was super tired, so there was no
Just is what it is.
effort to interject.
Sure.
It is crazy because just knowing how team budgets work,
It can't be cheap for
to
him
have
to
those,
do that.
to have those guys built into doing that. Granted, he travels with the team, so that's another person in its own hotel room because he's obviously not rooming with one of the women's basketball players.
I would assume not.
Yes, and then that's another bus, another food, more meals. I don't know. I don't know what they get paid, but it's got to be a little bit of money to do it. I don't know. It's important.
Unless just
Those schools got
free
plenty of
room and
money.
board. Oh
But
yeah.
they got plenty. But
There
I'm
are.
talking more from a high school perspective. It'd be really hard to find people what your brother is doing for the high schools and be able to pay.
Well, he's employed by the radio station.
right, but he
so-
does the school games.
Yeah, but he's employed by the radio station, so the school has
the
deal
school pays
with,
the radio station.
with the radio
Yeah,
station.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder.
And
what
I don't
that
even
is.
I don't even know if I don't know exactly how it works, but I don't even know if they the school pays them for that. I'm assuming they probably do.
have to.
Boo. Probably do.
Easy, dog. Okay. Whoa.
That was a slip.
Yeah. Anyway, what's on the agenda for Neighbors United? What are we talking about today at the neighborhood meetup?
I believe we're going to talk about the structures that are needed and everything. There was a piece of paper that I had, and it basically breaks down where the focal points need to be and what the people on the board per se, or the volunteers that show up every week,
Mhm.
um, want to be a part of and do. There's several things that I technically cannot be the head of. So I have to, like, with this meeting, we'll talk more about some of the things that I can be a part of. Simply because being in the community, I don't feel comfortable going to businesses asking for sponsorships twice. My main focus is the Summer Ball Showdown, and for that, I feel like my role in many of these opportunities is to be of guidance to the people that are wanting to learn the ropes and the business side of it, give them some pointers. On the sponsorship side, I volunteered to be the guy that tracks it all, and helps tell them where they can go and stuff like that to help them grow. I mean, last time we met, I suggested that we find a series of volunteers from the high schools that want to learn the business side of things to be able to walk in and have that hard conversation. I kind of picture myself 6 years ago, where going into a business just being like, "Hi, my name is David from the. Do you want to donate money?"
What's going on?
And then try to help them grow in that and say, "Hey, look, the objective is to say, we know these people are interested in being a part of our stuff. Go in there and just let them know, be transparent and say, "Hey, listen, this is my first time doing this. I'm nervous, but I want to learn how to do this." And those people that are already willing to be involved will understand and help you grow through that. And by the time you hit number 4 or 5, you're flying.
Yeah.
So just some guidance on that, and then talk about uh, how many different levels of sponsorships, and then there's just I guess there's a special part of this that the Summer Ball Showdown will be a part of. I just can't talk about it yet because it's not in stone.
There you go.
So basically, he walks in there and he's like, "To my loyal servants,
Sit down.
here's
Listen
what
up.
we're gonna do."
No, it's the list itself.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history.
The list of things or objectives are things that I already do in 6 different cities. Call it 7 if you want to call it Goddard already, and it's
Last
just
night
it's
had
just
a
a it's just an opportunity to help these young people grow in their desire to move into the business side of things.
That'd be cool. I think that community needs just more. They have great support for certain things, but then like certain things, it's like a ghost town,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like their school programs, everything's popping. Like their football games, that type of stuff, like their sports programs, like everything is good. Like everybody rallies and wants to support like that one avenue, but like local business and just community relation stuff and just like, they got the fall festival. Like
That's the biggest.
it,
That's one of the biggest ones in the state.
yeah,
I saw the numbers on that.
like it's it.
They had like 17 to 18,000 people there that day.
Yeah. Like it's huge, but that's like the only thing. And then I don't know. The people out there just it's like hit or miss sometimes. Like sometimes they're like all about cool stuff and wanting to do things and this, that, and the other. And then the other time it's like, we want our small town to stay as small as possible. And it's like, dude, how do you guys have both? Like I understand it in some aspects, but like it's just like, dude, the city's got to grow to survive. If not, it's just going to be Wichita, and they're just going to surround you, and Wichita's just going to take you over, and
Yeah.
it's already going that way. So
Yeah, they're already. I mean, the last city meeting we were at, they were talking about how far Wichita will come, and then you see where Goddard put that sign up to kind of hold their ground, but nobody looks at it like that. It's literally, that is the line that separates
Yeah.
Wichita from Goddard, and it is literally coming in.
Yeah.
Like it's growing out to Goddard, and having that sign there resembles, hey, you're entering Goddard, but
Yeah,
You know,
until
it's-
Wichita wants to annex it and say,
Right,
hey,
right,
this is this is now ours because you ain't doing anything with it.
correct.
Go to bed, little boy.
Well, I mean,
Bye
that
bye bye.
you kind of
Speaking of
you can
that.
look at it that way as well, and go from there. But you know, to elevate the things that the city wants to do, and having partnerships with everyone, it's kind of an important deal to look at, and that to me is huge.
Yeah, you know what I just realized? I know it's been 9 million episodes, but going on the topic of little, I see that in these camera splits that I am the littlest person. So
Well, don't worry, we'll have to be
real nice subliminal messaging there.
at some point. The cameras will have to be upgraded because these are going to go out with the baseball team.
No, I'm sure this was Sheldon's doing. I'm sure. Make him and you nice and big, full, like, filling up the screen, and then me far away so I look like the smallest person here.
Why? Oh,
The man.
these emotions are coming out right now.
Typical.
Yes. So
The man.
please tell me how you feel.
Just imagine if I was in that seat and you weren't.
I know, dude. If I was right there and you were here,
You would
just be
take
like,
up
"Hey."
the whole screen.
He
And
would.
If I was over there,
he would
I'd be
ask me to
under your
log in, and
computer.
whoop.
Yeah. And here I am noticing. Yeah, this is all a social conditioning experiment. Is what it is.
Oh, funny.
It's all
so.
subliminal messaging to let the public know Sean's the little guy.
That's funny.
Sheldon's the big man. Soon we'll get all those little titles on the bottom. It'll be little boy and big man, and then then the whole public will know. They'll know. They'll just
Until
see.
they see you in person, they're like, "You're not so
Exactly.
You're
They'll
just-
be
you're
like,
just
"Well,
tall.
you're not.
You're not
Sean.
big.
You're not Sean. You must be some sort of industry plant thing." That
Great.
Oh
Here
yeah,
comes Banks
he's back.
to ruin our podcast time.
Nah, probably just come in here and ask to listen to some music.
Yes. All right. Go in there, Bubba.
Grandma took off. It seems.
That's correct. Goodbye, Grandma. Good day.
So just a few things on the forefront of the NFL Combine going on. So yesterday, Sonny Styles ranked in the top 4 linebackers to ever compete in the Combine.
Okay.
His rankings were huge. I think there were only 2 of the several things that they test there.
Guessing this is an Ohio State guy?
It is. He's the number 1 linebacker in the nation.
Okay.
And then just some other fun stuff going on there, like some guy broad jumping 12'3", breaking a world record.
12'3"?
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's
unbelievable.
I forget his name. Something Brown. I forget his name.
Typical.
No comment.
But just unbelievable physical ability
12
there.
is-
12'3".
That's wild.
It's all right.
All right. Yeah. It's a little bit closer to all world class.
Yeah. I mean, just springs going out. I don't know what his vertical was, but I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Is that like officially like start today?
No, it's been going on since Monday or Wednesday. So Sonny Styles ran a 4.46 from Ohio State. Caleb Alarms Orr from TCU ran a 4.47.
Any 4.2s, 4.3s? yet?
Not in the linebacker world. Let's see here. Running backs haven't gone yet. Receivers haven't gone yet. Tight ends haven't gone yet. Offensive linemen, no. D ends, Arvell Reese from Ohio State ran a 4.46 at the best. Then David Bailey, that edge rusher from Texas Tech, 4.5.
Dog.
Yeah. And then the defensive tackle Zane Durant from Penn State ran a 4.7. That's a big body scooting.
It's wild how like the big boys nowadays, like just how versatile they are just as athletes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like people don't really understand like those times for that big of a body is scooting, dude.
So Penn State, Danny Dennis Sutton did broad jump for a D end, a 10'11".
Really, anything over 10 feet is good.
Sonny Styles, 11'2".
Who got a 12-foot one? Oh,
I'm
Sunny
I'm,
Styles.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I thought he set the. Who set the record? Brown something?
Yeah.
OJ Simpson.
Gosh dang it! This thing moved on me. No.
Let's see here. The broad jump record for the NFL Combine is 12'3", set by cornerback Byron Jones. Oh, that was 2015. Why did it pop up as somebody broke it? Freaking people. Anyways, so a while ago, 11 years ago.
Oh, so they didn't.
Yeah, no, that was the
did.
world record.
Yesterday.
12-3 is the world.
12'3" is the world record, and it
12'4".
was done at the NFL Combine in 2015. As far as 3-cone drills, Danny Dennis Sutton, the D end from Penn State, ran a 6'9". Pretty good for a big body. That's flying for a big body. Closest linebacker ran a matching 6'9". As far as the shuttle's concerned, for everyone, you have Jack Kelly from BYU at a 4.19.
What's the have they, out of people that have gone so far, they released like the highest RAS, whatever that stands for, score?
It does not. It just shows their total performance. So Sonny Styles leads the pack with a 43.5-inch vertical. Right. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
43.5 inches. That is
Yeah,
hopping.
absolutely. As far as anything else, I'm meeting at Linear Park today. I'm gonna be outside. Highest number of bench press was 37 for defensive tackle. And then 10-yard splits, a linebacker, 1.56. So just lots of athletic stuff going on right now. I mean, can't wait to see the running backs and wide receivers. They'll be coming in soon, I imagine.
What's the 40? 4.23, I think, or something like that.
The best overall.
Isn't that the world record?
Xavier Worthy at 4.21.
4.2.
And then you got John Ross at 4.22. Kalen Barnes in 2022 at 4.23. Then Chris Johnson at 4.24.
4.21, man. And every high school kid you talk to, yeah, I run a 4.4. Yeah, I run a 4.4. Sure you do, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure you do.
You'd have to scoot for that.
4.2 is just, it's wild thinking about how quick. I honestly, I think it's more impressive watching the big boys run like 4.8s, 4.7s, like those dudes that are just the 4.5s and they're 380 or 370, whatever the heck they weigh. They're monsters, dude.
Seeing some of those big boys run the shuttle.
And then think about them like running at you full speed and just throwing all of that weight at you to tackle you as a running back.
Yeah. Boom shakalaka.
I don't want that to ever happen. I'd break for sure.
Yeah.
That would hurt really bad.
So Chris Johnson still holds the 10-yard split record at 1.4 in 2008, but Henry Ruggs III was a 1.3, and that was in 2020.
That's pretty good.
So
what was your 10 last time?
It's like 2.
Yeah, I think I was a 1. Wouldn't I?
1.8 something.
The best vertical ever recorded at the NFL Combine was Chris Conley in 2015 at 45 inches.
Dude, I bet his arms are as long as that window.
Conley's a dog, man. He was a dog for like 2 years with the Chiefs, and then he got signed elsewhere. And then
Is he a D end?
Chris Conley's wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
And then you have in 2024 Tyler Owens from Texas Tech. He is the only person to ever challenge the broad jump record at 12'2". And then your best overall 3-cone drill 2011 Jeff Mail from wide receiver from Oregon, 6.42. There are no records from the 2020s until you're 11 people down, being Zion McCollum at 6.48. Everyone else is still in the 2010s. There's nobody close to that in the 2020s.
That's wild.
20-yard shuttle fastest is in 2014, Brandon Crooks. And then as I scroll down here, there are nobody in the top 20.
What was the best pro agility?
That's your shuttle or cones.
Yeah.
3.81. Yeah.
Who ran that?
Brandon Cooks.
The wide receiver.
Yeah, from Oregon State. And like I was saying, as I scroll down the top 20, there's no Jackson Smith and Jigba is the only one in the 2020s that hit 3.93. Outside of that, everything is still in the 2010s for records. Like Stephen Gilmore from 2012, Stephon Gilmore is a 3.94.
I'm trying to wrap my head around a 3.8.
All right, I'm going to give you a.
This is like,
here's
just can't
a-
imagine him moving that fast.
What is the NFL Combine record for number of bench presses? I'll give you a hint.
This is
225?
At 225. I'll give you a hint.
The compound
48.
More.
55.
Less.
52.
Less.
50.
Less.
49.
49.
Oh, that was close.
I beat you.
20.
No,
2011.
yeah, the little boy can never beat
Steven Paya from Oregon State with 49.
49.
The next closest one would be in the 2020s would be Nate Muty from Fresno State. He's a guard at 44. And then
Life depends on it. How many 225 you getting today?
3.
Sean? Life depended on it. Like,
How many am I getting at 225?
yeah.
Probably like 5.
My guess for you is 6.
Probably 4 or 5. Right now. Kind of suck. I really suck at bench, guys.
I don't think I could get 20.
I
Dude.
suck.
Well, you're also talking about big old linemen.
I know. I'm just saying, like, in comparison. I mean, 49. Like,
Yeah.
if I was giving you,
They're
like,
moving that like a tooth. They're moving that like that we would move the bar.
I know.
It's just crazy.
Like, I'm like hyped up.
Yeah.
Two
When you ever
drinks
see like
in,
like
like-
Larry Wheels
He said 2 drinks in.
Like, I'm
Reigns,
moving.
guys.
I got the
Yeah.
right song playing.
good.
I would gut out everything to try and get close to 20, but I don't know that I
You
can
see
do
those
it.
videos like Brian Shaw,
I'm
Larry
telling you.
Wheels doing 225 or 315 for just a ton of reps,
Yeah, just
and they're just moving it like
Yeah.
it's nothing. It's ridiculous.
Well, and
It's
those guys do it in the combo. I mean, you can just hear the weight. Guys are just-
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
just
speed behind what they're doing
ridiculous.
is crazy.
And I know everybody probably cares about this more than Ohio State. So there was 9 Hawkeyes invited to the combine. Should have been 11, but whatever. They
I hope
didn't.
we draft the returner from there.
Yeah, so obviously he was invited. So Weegin,
'Cause he'll
the
definitely be a
back-to-back Jet Award winner, best
he
returner
won't
in the
be
country.
He won't be a first rounder.
No, he'd be
Probably
Get him
third,
in the-
probably
third,
third or
third,
fourth
third or
round.
fourth, yeah.
Come on, Goody, listen.
And then you got
One of the owners is talking, bud.
the funny thing is this is like the list of positions that got invited are very Iowa, right? So you have
Offensive lineman, offensive
So-
lineman, offensive lineman.
you have 3 offensive
end.
linemen,
Tight end.
no tight ends. Well, all their tight ends were young this year.
Oh.
So there was three offensive linemen invited, which they were the Joe Moore Award winners. So naturally, you had a strong safety, a corner, a linebacker, a defensive end, a kicker, and a returner. Now, Gronowski was not invited, which is kind of dumb. I know people point at his passing stats, say, why would you ever invite him? But he did win the Shrine Bowl MVP,
Okay.
and he had a strong finish to the season once he got a little more healthy and looked really good. And he won, what, 2 national championships? At least one national championship. But he's the winningest quarterback in NCAA football history. Like, but
So
whatever.
so
gotta
day
get it.
day one
But
day one
he didn't get it.
day one was defensive ends, defensive tackles, and linebackers. Today's day 2 for testing.
Nice.
Dude, I hope we draft that redheaded offensive lineman. What's his name from Iowa?
Dunker.
Dude.
The white Thor guy,
Dude,
whatever.
I think-
he'll probably go before we have a pick. But
I think he
he'd probably be a day
Logan
2 guy.
Jones, though, the center from Iowa.
See, we need a center.
He's like that Linderbaum type,
Yeah.
former defensive end, a little undersized, but just a bulldog and ton of experience.
Keep going.
Yeah, like
I hate to
the
interrupt
Packers
this,
could-
but
No.
fellas, I got to get out of here.
That's okay.
So
you did
you
interrupt
guys have
it.
fun.
He's
And-
gonna keep telling me about these offensive.
Then you have Bo Stevens.
Okay.
All right, so that could be like a 3rd, 4th round draft pick, maybe.
Okay.
Mostly big dude at guards. He's like 6'6", 310. Monster as well. Nasty, just bowls over guys, just shoves their head in the
All
dirt.
right.
You know.
All right.
Remember that day you were in here and I was watching them on the TV screen on the one-on-ones for the offensive line, defensive line for this Reese's
You
Senior
like
Bowl.
ran him over.
Well, you couldn't get past these boys. Like everybody, like that Sutton guy who's talking about from Penn State was getting past everybody. He goes up against these two. No, he ain't getting past Dunker. He ain't getting past.
Come on, bro.
And Dunker,
why are you kicking me off? Jeez, Louise, dude, that double Sean. It was your time to shine.
Finally. So basically, this is how the podcast is going to be. All right, there we go. Now I'm the big man. I do have facial hair, everybody, just so you know.
Oh, my goodness.
If
we could get one of those offensive linemen,
and the return guy.
We need a center because I think that we're going to probably the return guy would be huge because we're going to have a new special teams guy, so we're going to have to do something.
Because Bisaccia took off.
Yeah. Well, that whole bit was crazy.
Why didn't they? Why? First of all, why didn't they get rid of him before then?
If you're going to do it based off of performance-based stuff, like
he
it was
should have been gone.
But the thing is they kept him because of more of the managerial role, and it's like, we'll just put him in a position to do that. Why does he have to be the special teams coordinator?
Yeah, go get a new special teams coordinator and figure out something else.
Yeah, let him be management,
analyst or whatever.
Just call him whatever the hell you want to call him.
And then
he's
he
our
leaves.
locker room guy. Then
he leaves.
Put him in there so that way he can do his job that way and not feel the stresses. Because obviously he wasn't doing as good of a job on that side.
You can't argue that at all.
He's doing other stuff.
Because I listen to a Packers podcast every once in a while.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
And they're talking about well, he's just got such a great track record, and I was like, yeah, but look at what happened the last year. I mean, you have to make a change.
He was the assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. So it's like,
have him be the assistant head coach.
Just have him be the assistant head coach and not the special teams coordinator.
And most of the time when guys
good at,
in the pros, especially, I think, in my mind, it's like assistant head coach is one of two things. You're either a young guy who's in line and you were named the assistant head coach to be kept from going somewhere else.
They don't want you to go.
That's kind of what it's, or it's you're an old guy, you're well respected, but you're never going to be a head coach, so you get that assistant head coach title, unless you were willing to go down in a level, because that's kind of how it is in college too. You get the assistant coach to keep them from leaving to a different school, or you get the assistant head coach because you're just kind of goes to an older guy who doesn't have any more future as a head coach anymore.
I don't know.
And that's what Bisaccia, obviously, he's not going to be a head coach.
Well, and he had every player's ear. He had their trust. Every player would vouch for him and be like, oh, no, this guy's part of, what we do, which you want to hear that from guys. But it's also, if that's all you're hearing and you're not hearing anything about his actual, job,
then he should be in more of a role.
This dude's a special teams guru,
then
whatever.
He should be in it. You shouldn't.
Put him in that role.
Because that was the same thing when he was the interim head coach of the Raiders.
And I'm not trying to knock special teams guys at all. And there's been some changes over the last couple of years, right? So there's some new strategy and some new pieces. And there's a lot of fine tuning and a lot of pieces to it. I'm not trying to knock that. But in the complexities of what football is, that is the most direct job that. If you're talking about all of the coaching staff positions, as far as what is what and trying to do things, when you're kicking, that's the only thing that's happening, right? You can't even fake do it anymore. If you're doing an onside kick, that's the only thing that's happening. If you're doing a regular kickoff,
and if
that's
you're
the only
failing
thing that's
at every single one of those things,
we can't block
over
a field
and over
goal.
again.
We can't make a field goal. We can't return a punt. We can't return a kick. We literally have failed in every facet of that portion of the game with professional athletes. So it's what?
Because it's not there's a few guys out there, usually one or two maybe on NFL rosters that are purely special teams guys.
We lost 6 games this year because of special teams.
Yeah, and that's how
that's
when you look on the
not
flip
even
side,
being critical. That's
on the flip side, if you go to a team like Iowa in college, how many games do they win each year based on their special teams? Because of return yardage, because of punt yardage, because of punt coverage, because of where your kickoff ends up and field position, and that is a staple that Iowa's won off of because they're not as talented usually as the teams they're facing. And it's just as big in the NFL nowadays that NFL has reverted back to more time of possession and not as open offenses as it was there for a few years. It's special teams is all the more important because you don't have these explosive offenses. So field position means so much more. And then obviously making your field goals always matters.
Dude, we need to the Packers need to do 3 things in the offseason with what we currently have right now.
Sign Malik, trade Jordan Love.
There's gonna be pieces there.
Get rid of Jordan Love.
No matter what happens with those personnel, we have enough depth in the major pieces that it doesn't matter. We need to draft offensive linemen. We need to get 2 of them. Okay, we need a center.
Both from Iowa.
For sure. And depending on if we think we're going to draft a center, that's what we're going to determine how we're going to restructure or release Elton Jenkins, because he's obviously underperformed this year and he was hurt. So that's the first thing that we got to figure out.
This happens to every single offensive lineman that you guys extend or
it's ridiculous. Yeah. Zach Tom obviously got hurt as well too. But they're going to bring him back. He's younger and
he's good.
So he's good. But Elton Jenkins, and first of all, everybody being all hard on Elton Jenkins, I see this all over my feed, probably not local here to this, but over my feed, they're all just harping on him because of his numbers at center. He's freaking guard.
He's not a center. He's a guard.
Yeah, so
that's why they invested him in the first place.
Exactly. So
move him back to guard.
Move him back to guard.
Restructures.
We just drafted in the first round 2 years ago a starting left tackle, Jordan Morgan, who is a good left tackle, but we've got him all over the line because we decide that we want to move everybody, which makes no sense.
Maybe just put him at the place they're more familiar with.
So if he's our starting left tackle, you move Jenkins out to guard, and he could probably do
But injuries do mess up everything.
It does. You draft a center that's an absolute dog, and you invest in the right guy. Like, you use your picks to get that guy, okay? And then you have Zach Tom that's going to come back for right tackle, and then you got to figure out your guard situation with either your depth pieces or you draft another one, and you go there, right? Everybody for the longest time for Green Bay, we have always complained about our draft because we're always getting defensive guys early, which our defense has always sucked, so it really is a question mark. But then we always get a ton of offensive linemen late. If you go look at statistical stuff for the Packers of this last season, our number one statistic that dropped off the most was our pass blocking and run blocking efficiency. Like, if you go look at the statistics behind that, they had we have been in the top 10, probably even top 5 in some categories for the past 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. This year we're in the bottom 5. And then we wonder why, even though we're staying in games, it's hard to put games away. Well, when you can't get your offense late, you're going to have those issues. And then you compile that with special teams, which leads me to my next part of the draft that we need to fix. Okay, offensive line, that's out of the way. Do that the right way. Figure out Jenkins, go from there. Then from that, 2 things. Trent Williams is available, okay, because they're having contract disputes. You want to go change your offensive mindset on the offensive line? Go pay that semi-truck and let him come in, even on a 1-year deal. Make it. Dude, do it. You want your window of Super Bowl opportunity.
That's one of those things you just don't say no to.
Dude.
You don't pass that up.
Dude, he's a monster. And they don't want to pay him out there because they're cap strapped. So, and we won't be, not really.
No.
We'll have a little bit of windows. But, so if you go get somebody like that, then you got to fix special teams. You get a new special teams coordinator. You draft a good kick returner. And Brandon Aubrey, who's out there, who's going to be in a contract dispute because they don't want to pay him $10 million or something like that. The dude who can make a field goal from 75 yards away.
He's automatic.
Go get him and then tell me you can't win the Super Bowl.
Well, you're forgetting the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, sure.
Malik Willis.
Okay, yeah.
So if you still have Jordan Love, I mean, sure, you can go long, you can go deep, but you're not going to win the championship with Jordan Love, right? If you put Malik Willis there, who is statistically the best quarterback in the NFL the last 2 years.
He's going to get paid, and don't pay him and go get these pieces. That's it.
Trade Jordan Love.
And corner. I'm just talking about offense, but and corner. We need, please find some corner help.
Yeah. Because you just have guys who, none of them are number ones.
You have
a bunch of number 3.
We have a kick returner who was good,
Nichols,
which was Keyshawn Nixon, who was solid at kick returning, and a great special teams guy who some way, somehow we've elevated up to our cornerback 1. And then we're wondering, and don't get me wrong, like from an average statistical basis, like he's okay.
Yeah.
And he does all right, but he's not
who's
a lockdown guy.
And what gets noticed the most? Who's in coverage when the biggest touchdowns are scored?
Exactly.
Keyshawn Nixon.
Over and over. Or he's getting penalties, which I don't even complain about the penalties.
It is
like,
what it is.
I like the defense to have that kind of
rather see that than you give up a big play.
Exactly. Right. I would much rather you get called for rather than letting them catch the touchdown pass.
Get in there.
Just get in there and stop it. Like I'll live with that.
Live to fight another day.
Exactly.
You don't need to be perfect. I mean, you look at all the good corners in the history of the game. So many of those guys were super physical, and like look at Darrelle Revis.
Dude, they got scared of him.
And when you're physical like that, and now back then they didn't call as many ticky-tack penalties, so they could get away with a lot more. But that's just how it is, though. Like if you're physical within the first 5 yards, pretty much you're not going to get called, and then you're running them off their route.
Exactly.
And then the better coverage corners, they're just a little bit longer usually and a little more athletic. And the Packers don't have any of those guys. They don't have any of the Jalen Ramsey types. And I know he's a little bit like, not washed up, but he's not as good now. Patrick Surtain, you don't have that kind of specimen. You don't have a dog like Riley Moss on the Broncos.
We have great safeties.
Yeah.
Not good corners. We have 3.
And that's
starting safeties that are solid.
Yeah, what's going to lead to that is still those outside throws. You're just going to get picked apart by those, and then Xavier McKinney drops a easy interception.
That was another thing about this year that
a lot of drop.
We had so many opportunities to pick the ball that we just didn't, and that's
sometimes it was Jameis throwing, and he just has that magic. Like you just have that magic.
We had some. Wow.
But another fun fact, though, about one of the offensive linemen from Iowa. So Jennings Dunker, the big redhead guy with the mullet.
That's who I want.
Right.
I
think he's a 2 or 3 time champion of a hay bale throwing contest.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right. Like it's like I think it's a state fair type thing up in Wisconsin where he's from. And he's from Wisconsin, by the way. So there you have it. I think. Pretty sure it's either Illinois or Wisconsin, one of the two.
Get the big redhead.
And that dude has won that. And I think the guy who dethroned him was another Iowa offensive lineman. Cade Pieper, who is going to be a first-round pick next year in the draft because he came back. He would have been a first or second round pick this year. But he's staying and moving to center because that's the position the NFL wants him in. So he's going to replace Logan Jones and be the center. But Logan Jones would be a great one to get. Any 3 of them.
We need a center bad.
Any 3 of them. I think Bo Stevens probably has the maybe kind of a high floor pick. But it's guard, so guard's full of high floor guys. But you just want a mean, nasty guy who can. All 3 of those guys is mean and nasty. Can change help change the complexion of the offensive line. But if you get Trent Williams and one of those guys to
dude, if you
get some nasty in there,
if you got Trent Williams on our team. I'm telling you right now, we were so good the year before, statistically wise, looking at it like that, there were still holes and stuff, and we didn't have Micah Parsons 2 years ago, so that's a big difference too, right? But
and you're not going to have him for probably.
You run the ball effectively with a good offensive line, right?
Is Jacobs in his last year of his contract?
Gutekunst came out and said that he would be our back this next year, but he also said that with Aaron Jones, and then we traded for Jacobs, so who knows?
Yeah. But if a bigger opportunity comes along for a younger guy,
it's not like Jacobs is old. I think he's 25.
But for running backs, you get past that that window. He's probably older than 25.
Maybe 27,
26, 27, somewhere in there. But
R&D's on it.
Well, and obviously this is a Packers pod. But to mention a little bit more local, the Chiefs did restructure Mahomes' deal. Restructure Mahomes' deal.
Yes, he did.
And I still we're talking about offensive line and bad decisions along the offensive line.
Well, they're talking about trying to get Rasheed Walker from the Packers.
Yeah.
Who could be helpful for them. He's just going to command.
Well, and that's what they're going to cut Jawaan Taylor.
Wasn't he from the Ravens?
No, Jawaan Taylor was on the Jaguars.
Who's the Ravens guy that they got? I thought they got a Ravens offensive lineman the year prior, 2 years ago or something. Don't remember. R&D's on it. I swear there was a.
Uh, oh, yeah. Orlando Brown.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
his
that was
name.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
Last 3 or 4 years ago.
2021.
He was all right, but then they didn't want to pay him what he wanted, so then he went and signed with the Bengals, and he
Bengals
hasn't done nothing for
anything.
them.
Yeah.
And then they went and got Jawan Taylor, who has just been awful. It's just been awful.
It's in football, especially like when you argue about like most impactful positions outside of obviously the quarterback, like the offensive line, in my opinion, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think that you can get by with lesser weapons. I think you can get by with lesser, you know, defensive pieces. If you have a really good offensive line, you can always be in the game.
So the
Just
Chiefs,
the way I look at it.
the Chiefs created $43 million
Yeah, there's 40 plus million
because he
cap.
was set to count for 78.2
Mhm.
million against the cap. So he just, he just casually got a signing bonus of 54.45 million.
Yeah, Patrick, if you ever watch this, we would love you to sponsor our podcast. We'll talk about it
yeah,
every day, bud.
Pat. Anytime you want to.
We'll take a Pat pack. A Pat pack.
And so they could be restructuring Chris Jones as well.
See, I think they'll probably. I mean, he's obviously the defense there, but if they don't restructure him to a team friendly deal, like
$45 million against the cap for a defensive
that's
lineman.
brutal.
When honestly, for half the season, he was pretty ineffective last year.
Well, and big moments, big times. Yes,
He'll come through. It's just it wasn't until the second half of the season when the backs were against the wall.
Yeah, but his numbers on the field are not what they used to be.
Like $45 million, man. Like against the cap, you need a Micah Parsons type, Myles Garrett type.
Yep.
Like that's the kind of dude you want. And Chris Jones can be that, but it's at times. And he's an interior lineman. He's not an edge.
Yeah.
So he's an absolute dog, and I love the guy. I mean, he's a big reason they won 2 Super Bowls there. So that potentially, cut offensive line Jawan Taylor, which is just 1 year left on his deal, which 4 years, $80 million for 3 years. He's probably leads the league in false starts. And then
he's the early start every time.
Yeah, that's what everybody was looking at, and he was still getting called for a bunch too. And you see like his back leg going before the ball even moves every time. And then they're probably gonna release Dana Tranquil and Noah Gray, which I thought like last year it would be better which they did bring back Tranquil, but to move off Nick Bolton. I do like Nick Bolton.
I like him too. I wanted us to draft him.
Yeah, I mean he was
Missouri guy, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
he
tested really well, and he
just
his first 2 years, but then he got hurt a little bit. I think it wasn't this past year, but it was the year before. Tranquil stepped up. Tranquil's just that veteran, get your nose in there kind of guy, and I thought it would have been better, which they did bring back because I thought they were going to let Tranquil walk, and I thought I wanted.
He's a little older.
Yeah, because they let Willie Gay walk, and Gay was, which I mean, I was like. I saw a lot of people wanted Gay to stay, and then
there's a lot of people out there that want Gay to stay.
I personally, I didn't want Gay to stay. I wanted Gay to go away. No, Nick Bolton, obviously, like being the middle linebacker, the signal caller of the defense, made a lot of sense, and he's one of those guys which I would totally be fine with him being a Chief forever. If they could make it happen, but. I do really like Tranquil, but his performance also was not as big this past year as it was recently. I know him and Chris Jones butted heads a lot, and I don't know if that had something to do with it. But
have they had any major like coaching changes? I haven't followed that.
Well, because Bieniemy's back.
I remember they brought him back, but what is he? Is he going to be offensive coordinator? Yeah.
Well, it was weird because it sounded like Nagy was getting hired.
Yeah, well, I heard like 5 different times he was going to like Tennessee and something else, like,
which was crazy. Like, I just can't believe somebody would sign back up for having him as a head coach again, because he went to the Bears, and now I'm not always gonna blame Bears coaches for being terrible, just because I think the organization as a whole was ran probably poorly, and the drafts were really bad.
I always keep that in perspective because it took the Bears having multiple years and multiple first-round picks in each of the last,
Yeah, and then they finally hit on
I
some
think,
of those.
3 drafts.
Like, I think Ryan Pace was their GM, and he just wasn't a good GM.
It took like 3 years and multiple first-round picks for them to finally like better our team, which just is unreal to even think that that's what happened. But
better the team.
all we had to do was fall on an onside kick. Oh, I mean, I don't want to go back there.
Not blow a massively.
Not blow a 21 point.
Maybe Bieniemy. I don't know. Maybe Bieniemy's not coming back. They did because they hired DeMarco Murray as their running back coach.
Really?
Yeah. Because maybe since that hiring fell through, Nagy came back as the OC, so they didn't bring back.
That fell through?
I don't know, man. Because I thought because they also hired Chad O'Shea, which I don't know who that is, but wide receivers coach. Then they had it's a couple like quality control guys and assistant coaches. Where's Bieniemy at? I thought he came back. Enemy, which I was excited about because I think the offense has clearly taken steps back since. Okay, yeah, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Does it say him?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where's Nagy at? I wonder then. What did he have?
Well, I'm excited for the draft. Hopefully, everybody else out there is. We'll see what happens.
Oh, Nagy got hired as the OC for Harbaugh in New York. That feels like a good match, though.
I'm sure the match on the coaching side. I just don't know about the team. I don't know. Possibly. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not.
In all fairness to Nagy, when he went to the Bears, they stuck him with Mitch Trubisky as QB.
Yeah.
And nothing against Mitch Trubisky. He would have been fine if you were a 3rd or 4th round draft pick, but they drafted him number 2 overall ahead of some pretty good QBs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the NFL talk. Yeah, I did want a little MLB talk here to finish. Just to make sure Sheldon gets his MLB news in there.
See you guys on Monday.
Yeah. Doesn't like MLB. He
also, before whatever he's going to bring up about that, I have been slacking on our posts. So I will take full responsibility for that.
He's been really slacking on the posts.
I'm going to get a bunch of posts out.
He calls
probably
himself
next week.
This big man.
I might do 1 or 2 today, but I've been lacking on that. So I know some people are waiting for us to tag him and that type of stuff. Also, before he does this MLB thing, if you know anybody that we should interview, make sure you leave a comment.
We would
like to reach out to some people.
Whatever you see this on, whether it's the live show on any of the platforms we go live on, or just in these comments, or if you want to just like go to one of our other posts, and like if that gives you an idea to interview somebody, or you want to be interviewed, just comment and we'll try and get you on. And we don't have like a massive lineup, and it's not like we're some big podcast. So if you want to get interviewed, just let us know what you do. We'll bring you on. Like,
love to talk to you.
Yeah,
especially if you live here.
Yeah, that's pretty.
All right, get your MLB.
Yeah, no, just a couple notes. Spring training's rolling along now.
I am excited for that.
Full swing of games, and then you got the WBC starting March 3rd.
I'm excited for the WBC.
I think everybody's pretty excited about that. There was some news like Tariq Skubbal's only pitching 1 game in it, like the first game, and then he's dipping.
That's fine. We'll take him for 1 game.
Which is it's this whole debate between people, and it's like everybody's just they are so afraid of injuries that it's like playing the game is almost secondary now.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's this whole like I gotta make sure I get paid. You're telling so okay. So Tariq Skubal is going to be a free agent after this year. And he is going to be set. So the initial number thrown out as an extension, I think, was like $400 million from the Tigers, and he didn't want that. He wanted more. So that's what sparked the trade rumors.
You can't live on $400 million.
Well, it's not enough for generational.
I know it's
wealth.
it's Tyreek, but he also has been, very well, and he said he couldn't do it. So.
Yeah, well, no, it was Odell.
Oh,
Beckham
sorry, I
Jr.
thought it was
said
Tyreek.
100 million wasn't generational wealth.
My bad.
Tone deaf. That would be we're talking about that.
Yes.
But yeah. So Tariq Skubal came out, said he's only pitching one game. Sounds like, which like from an optics standpoint, you're like, well, okay, so he suits up for one game to wear the stars and stripes, pitch one game for him, dip on out of there, because you're afraid of getting hurt for playing baseball, which I know it's not his organization, his team, but the whole thing is like he doesn't want to get hurt, so he gets the max amount of money in this offseason. But the thing is, so I'm looking at this like, okay, well, you could very easily go back to Detroit, to Florida or whatever Detroit plays their spring training. I think it's Florida, and then get hurt there, or you can get hurt in literally any start you ever throw in your entire life. And guess what? He's so good that even if he had to get Tommy John or something, he's still going to get paid. Secondly, I think it would be in his best interest right now to work to sign an extension. Even if because he's still, no matter what, he's still going to end up getting the highest pitching contract in history, whether he thinks it should be more or less. Like it's hard to gauge the market. I just know, like, I mean, I don't know this, obviously. I just assume what he's thinking is he doesn't want to sign a contract, even though it's a record-breaking contract, but then he sets the market himself. But that's the problem with being that good. When you're that good and you've elevated yourself above the competition, you reset the market, so then everybody else, even if they're not as good as you, they're going to use your contract as a reference, and then they're going to get paid more because the league makes more money, the owners make more money, and they know there's more money to be had, and that's what the agents do too. And then they'll point to this, this, and this. It's like, well, maybe this guy has actually pitched in World Series games and so on and so forth. So like Paul Skeens will make more money than Tariq Skubal at the end of the day. But I think that's what Skubal's in his camp is thinking.
It's kind of like law precedent. Like,
they're like, they don't want to be the guy he like, oh, I could have made more money, but now I'm locked into 10 years, $450 million instead of 10 years, $550 million or whatever it's going to be.
It's all leverage,
and that's where that's at. But you also got to remember, MLB is going to most likely have a lockout. And what the latest news on that, it said even longer lockout than initially expected because the owners want a salary cap and the players obviously don't want a salary cap. So it might be in his best interest to just sign the extension and get the payday. And because you just don't know what free agency is going to look like with the impending lockout next year. So there's that. Also, there's rumors that Drew Brees might buy the Padres.
That'd be cool. Cross sport.
Yeah. I mean, like Mahomes has been invested. I think he's a part owner in the Royals, and then he's owns that women's soccer team. Like it's cool. Like when athletes, go, especially like Mahomes being in that current community for the rest of his life, most likely.
And the current soccer team.
Right. There you have it.
We did that.
But if John Carlos Stanton apparently can't open a water bottle or a bag of chips without feeling pain in his elbows.
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
So, but he says he's just going to play through it because he sat for 2 months last year because he's got tennis elbow in both elbows. So he sat for 2 months. He's like, and then I still had pain, so I'm just going to play through it. And he hit really well in the regular season last year. So that kind of sucks. I just wish he'd be healthy. He's
get on the BPC 157.
I think he'd be banged for a drug. I think that's a performance enhancing drug.
Get on some peptides, brother.
I think he'd receive the when a guy's that could be that close to the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's going to be dabbling in it. Because the riders will be like, it's fine.
No.
Barry Bonds, all of his home runs are steroids.
Yeah, I don't know. The contract stuff's wild. It's a really tough concept because like you try to look at it from both lenses, right? You look at it from a fan and like outside looking in, but then you put yourself in the player's shoes too.
Yeah. And
you imagine all of the inside pressure behind some of it, because a lot of it the guys don't really have as much to do with.
So he was in his final year of arbitration this year. And he won his arbitration case against the Tigers. Which what are you going to... The Tigers are proposing a lower salary for this year, and he's proposing a higher salary. I don't think the Tigers have any, because then that's the weird thing about baseball. This contract process where when you first make the majors, you're basically making league minimum, which is now 870,000. I think it used to be like a few years ago, it was like 750,000, something like that.
Yeah.
But you make league minimum. I don't know exactly how it works when you're going up and down. I think it prorates. It prorates from your minor league salary to your big league salary, depending on how much time you spend in each one. And then because that's the whole point of like the contracts being optioned to AAA and option backup. So I think that's kind of how it works. And then I think you get like a 2-year or 3, like eventually you get locked into like a 2-year deal. I'm probably butchering this, of that league minimum deal. So like 2 years, 1.5 million. And you're locked into that league minimum salary for 2 years, and then you go to arbitration. So after 3 or 4 years doing that, you have I think it's 3 years of arbitration, and you can sign a contract to get out of arbitration before you get there. Like the two camps can come together and just agree on a salary for the year, but you can't get traded unless you have that salary. So you would have to come to a salary agreement and before you could get traded or anything like that. So like, they can come together, avoid arbitration, or if the player feels really strongly they should be making this, and the team feels very strongly, I don't want to pay that, you should be making this. And then the two sides go to court. Hop on.
Sit down, bud.
The two teams go to court, and then they battle it out in court, and then the court decides who wins that arbitration case. So Skubal went to arbitration. I don't know what the Tigers were thinking there. I don't know what their proposed salary was, but yeah, Skubal is going to make a record-setting arbitration, like 35, 36 million, something like that. I don't know what the Tigers had on him when he's like, I have 2 Cy Youngs. My playoff ERA is nasty too.
I just wonder how that gets argued. But then on top of that, you think, so that's just another layer that gets added into the contract portion of
and so he's making 30-some million this year, and he's probably going to go for 45, 50 million a year when he signs his contract, because currently the highest paid pitcher, I think it's Garrett Cole still, and he's making 36. And Garrett Cole doesn't have the resume that Skubal does, and Cole's been in the league a long time. And he's one of the best pitchers in the game, Well, maybe Snell, what did he say? No, Snell was like 30 million. And Snell has 2 Cy Youngs too. And Verlander and Scherzer both made like 41, 42 million a few years ago, but that was like super short-term contracts. So, and I think Framber Valdez also signed with the Tigers. He's making like 40 million, but that was like a short-term deal. So
Verlander is crazy.
The weird thing is and Verlander signed back with the Tigers.
I know.
So that's cool. So they're gonna have
like pumping what he does too.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of his numbers weren't good last year for the Giants, which was just weird. He was pitching for the Giants, but it was also
probably because of where he was.
Well, the
San Francisco sucks.
True, but you would think he'd have good numbers there because it's a pitcher's ballpark. Like that place is cavernous. But also like his underlying metrics and his velo were still pretty good.
And was like, I just can't stand Brock Purdy. Just kidding.
See that, guys? Proof that
I'm gonna get Justin Verlander
every time Purdy's face pops up.
Verlander just couldn't take it. He said, I got to get out of here. He's like, what is going on? I can't pitch in this environment.
Either that or it was just the poop map. There's just too much poop all over the place. Every time he went to pitch, he's just like, why is it? He's like, I didn't think a place could smell worse than Detroit.
I know.
Now he's back to Detroit.
We got to wrap this up.
Yeah. Somehow we went on for an hour today.
Yeah, I don't know.
We started talking about the Packers. That's what really.
You start doing that, I can talk for a while. I try to keep it brief.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up. Hope you guys have a great weekend. If you got anybody that we can chat with next week, definitely send them our way. Comment on our stuff, please. Follow us on social media. Even though I have been slacking, I take full responsibility. I am the little man when it comes to posting on social media. So
finally, he admits it.
I apologize. I apologize.
That's right. So. Little man. Big man.
There he is. Nice.
All right. So.
All right, well, we're going to close it out with a good old prayer, and then we will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Sean? Thank you. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeesh. No, it's coming. I'm gonna read through
Okay.
from Hebrews again.
Oh,
I
okay.
read through it the other day. I'm gonna read through Hebrews again here because that's what my Bible app on my phone was opened up to.
Oh, wonderful.
So this is in Hebrews 10. For since the law has but a shadow of the good things to come instead of the true form of these realities, it can never, by the same sacrifices that are continually offered every year, make perfect those who draw near. Otherwise, would they not have ceased to be offered, since the worshippers, having once been cleansed, would no longer have any consciousness of sins? But in these sacrifices there is a reminder of sins every year, for it is impossible for the blood of bulls and goats to take away sins. Consequently, when Christ came into the world, he said, sacrifices and offerings you have not desired, but a body have you prepared for me. In burnt offerings and sin offerings you have taken no pleasure. Then I said, behold, I have come to do your will, O God, as it is written me in the scroll of the book. When he said above, you have neither desired nor taken pleasure in sacrifices and offerings and burnt offerings and sin offerings. These are offered according to the law. Then he added, behold, I have come to do your will. He does away with the first in order to establish the second. And by that will we have been sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once and for all. And every priest stands daily at his service, offering repeatedly the same sacrifices, which can never be taken away, which can never take away sins. But when Christ had offered for all time a single sacrifice for sins, he sat down at the right hand of God, waiting from that time until his enemies should be made a footstool for his feet. For by a single offering he has perfected for all time those who are being sanctified. And the Holy Spirit also bears witness to us. For after saying, this is the covenant that I will make with them, after those days, declares the Lord, I will put my laws on their hearts and write them on their minds. Then he adds, I will remember their sins and lawless deeds no more. Where there is forgiveness of these, there is no longer any offering for sin. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking us up this morning, giving us all the blessings and the challenges, Lord. I pray that we praise you and honor you and pray to you and spend time with you, whether we're struggling or whether we're very blessed, Lord, whether we're feeling very blessed or whether we're feeling like you're distant. Lord, let us remember that it is not the law that keeps us holy. It's not following rules or good works that keep us holy, but you and you alone that make us holy, Lord, and continue to perfect us and sanctify us through your works, through the Spirit within us, and not anything we can do ourselves and anything we can do with the flesh or our minds, Lord. Thank you for your once and for all sacrifice that saved us from our sin and you conquering evil and beating death, rising 3 days later to allow us to have eternal life with you, Lord. I pray that even that we remember this every day, that we pray on this every day and are thankful for this every day, and that every single blessing and opportunity we have each day, we think of you and spend time with you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, well, that'll wrap up. I think it was episode 88.
Something like that.
Yeah, episode 88 right there. Getting close to 100 episodes.
Dude.
It's kind of a cool thing. So we got to plan that out to do something cool on episode 100. But we will catch you guys next week.
Mahomes, come on.
We'll see. Oh, hey.
Or later.
All right.